Hey, what's up everybody, Nexel here. Today we are playing Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and we are about to delve into version 2.6.0, talking about this specific notice right here, where fusing two of the same metal together, even if they're of different rarities, will now result in the base metal getting a new trait. So the example they give here is fusing a 4-star number 200 Kingdom Hearts 2 Aerith into a 6-star number 202 Kingdom Hearts 2 Aerith will result in the 6-star Kingdom Hearts 2 Aerith getting a trait. Now, they don't give specifics on how this works, so we're going to delve into this just a little bit, and I will be using these panes as an example. So pretty much what the what the notice meant is that you can take one 5-star version or whatever star version and combine it with a different rarity altogether. So for example, this 4-star, I can now combine this 4-star into this 5-star and give this 5-star a trait. Even though they're not the same rarity, the game still allows me to give traits. Now, one thing you can instantly notice right here is that adding it this way only gives you a trait. It doesn't give you orbs. It doesn't help you unlock the special attack bonus. So I guess let me show you with this, for example. So this one is orbless. And then combining this 3-star pane and trying to fuse it with this 4-star one will again only roll for trait. It's not going to give me any orbs. So normally what happens is when you have a 4-star and you try and combine it with a 4-star, you see the orb light blinking. That means that once you fuse these two metals together, it is going to unlock both a trait and an orb. But when you do it with a metal that is a different rarity, it doesn't give you that orb. So keep that in mind, that it doesn't work for orbing, it doesn't work for guilting, it doesn't work for re-rolling special attack bonus. Not only that, but if you take a metal that's already orbed, so let's say you took something that is already guilted and you try to fuse it into something in order to give it orbs, in order to help it unlock its special attack bonus. So let's say, for example, you have a 7-star metal that you were really excited to get, but you didn't gilt it all the way, and you were hoping that you could take something that you already gilted, like a 6-star version of it that's already gilted, and you wanted to fuse it into it and then give that 7-star metal gilt. You can't do that. So you can see that here because this 5-star pane, which already has one orb, will not give this 4-star pane, which has no orbs, anything. It's just going to give it the trait roll. It is not going to give it any orbs. It's not even going to give it the orb that's already on it. So that is very important to note, that this new leveling mechanic, while it allows you to roll for traits, does not help you when it comes to guilting. It does not help you re-roll for special attack bonus, and it does not transfer orbs. So that's just important to remember when you're doing this, so that you don't get trapped where you fuse them accidentally thinking that it would do that, and it does not do that. So in order to give things orbs, you still need to do it the classic way, where you take two metals that are of the same rarity. So for example, these two 4-stars, when I combine them together, are going to give an orb. That's a classic way of doing it, and that's pretty much the only way of doing it aside from using a Mickey and Broom. Moving on down our laundry list of notes, what this means is that you can keep one gilded copy of the metal, unless you're doing something specific where you want to keep 2 copies of it, but otherwise you can keep one gilded copy of the metal, make that pretty much your OP version of the metal, and then just fuse traits into it. So for example, let's take my 7-star Aqua. So I have this 7-star Aqua, but as you can see, it's traitless. It has no traits, and that is potential that I am not using. Now, this is why I believe this leveling mechanic was made, because when you hit level up, and then you have that same metal of different rarities, you can combine them and give traits to your 7-star metal, which is way more OP than the 6-star version of it. So see, I can give it a trait. It's not going to roll for special attack bonus, but that's fine because this allows you to roll for additional premiums. Like, let's say you just rolled into an illustrated Aqua A, it was like an extra premium that you got. Instead of scrapping it because tier 4s like kind of grew to be useless, you can save them. You can get the 7-star Aqua and then fuse them in. So that is really good because it allows you to give traits to 7-star metals without having to take a 6-star metal and leveling it up to 7 stars in order to give traits. So I really like this mechanic, especially with the introduction of 7 stars, because it makes it a lot easier to trait those 7 stars. And in my opinion, having the 7 stars and having this mechanic put together reinvents how useful tier 4s can be for people. especially when it comes to things like you can only use medals that are tier 4 or lower. You can only use medals that are tier 3 or lower. So these two systems combined, the 7-star system, which I haven't talked about yet, and this new trading system, reinvents tier 4s and makes them reuseful again for people that once thought they were useless. So this is another reason that I talked about in the last video. The inventory increase is very, very important. So normally what people would do is that they combine the medals and then power them up all the way until they reach that maximum rarity. That becomes a lot harder because in order to level up a 6-star to a 7-star, you need these blue fairy medals, and the only way you could obtain these blue fairy medals is through things like PvP and prospectively Coliseum next month. So that's really, really difficult, considering you don't really get to pull for them. You can't use jewels to get them. You have to pretty much like trudge your way through the mud in order to get tickets, in order to get the blue fairy. So I really like this trade system, and the inventory sale, again, going back to that, becomes important because you want to keep multiple copies of something if you plan on obtaining the 8-star version of it. So this banner allowed you to get an illustrated Aqua A, which I did, but I obtained it. It had no traits on it. In this case, it was a good thing that I kept my 2 illustrated Aqua A medals separate, and even though it took up twice as many inventory spaces as just the one alone, I now have 2 trait rolls on my illustrated Aqua A. So in the future, if they release a banner that is the release of 7-star copy medals, you're going to want to save up all your copy medals until you can get that 1 copy via the banner, because then you just start trait rolling into it. Now that's kind of a weird scenario, because if they make a banner for it, that means that you have no intentions of taking your current medal and then leveling it up to 7 stars. But that's a different thing altogether. The point is, if you plan on getting an 8-star version and they plan on releasing a banner for it, it's more beneficial for you as a player to keep those medals separate until you're ready to fuse them into your 7-star version. Because again, these tier 4s, they're not really going to help me right now. But with the 7-star edition, these tier 4s can now become super, super good, because when you look at it, look at that strength, look at that defense, look at that multiplier. Now we'll talk about 7-star medals in a different video, but the point is that that's why you'd keep those medals separate, because you can technically wait until they release like a banner that will give you that medal, and then you can fuse traits into it. Alright, with that being said, that is my little video about this new trading mechanic. I hope you guys learned some good stuff from it, and I hope this kind of helps you plan for the future, because if you want to get a 7-star copy medal, but you're not really able to get those gold tickets in order to, you know, get that 7-star, you can wait until they release a banner for it, and then you're good because you saved multiple copies because you remember watching this video. And then you can start fusing traits into that 7-star. Alright, if you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. Again, I hope this video was helpful, especially to new people that are trying to understand all this game's mechanics. And any questions, again, drop them down below. With that being said, as always, everyone, until the next video, take it easy.